Will you be my Valentine?
Let us love like we were children. Make us feel like
The day of love, Valentine's Day. For me personally, I've never really had an attachment to Valentine's Day. I've never really been in a relationship, and the only experience I've had is at school, where when you're little, you know, you make a little basket or something and you bring in Valentines for every person in your class. I don't really have any Valentine's stories, but I thought I will tell you the history of Valentine's Day because it's kind of interesting. Initially, the Roman people celebrated Valentine's Day for Juno, the queen of the Roman gods and goddesses, and that was on the 14th, and then on the 15th they had the feast of Lupercalia. An interesting custom of the feast was that people would put down the girls would put down names in jars, and the guys would pick the names, and then the two would get together and they would spend a long time together, and traditionally they fell in love and got married in the end, so that was pretty exciting. And here's where we get into the whole Valentine's part. During the reign of Emperor Claudius II, ooh, we're going into fancy terms here, Emperor, there's a lot of bloodshed, and the Emperor was having trouble getting young men inspired to go to war, and he assumed it was because they didn't want to leave their wives. And so in order to get them to leave and to go to war, he forbade marriage. So young people were not allowed to get married. That's where Valentine comes in. I don't know if this is the exact history, but this is one of the legends that's passed on. So Valentine, a believer in love, decided to continue marrying the individuals and would do so in secret. When he was found out, he was thrown in jail, and then later he was executed. Another facet of the legend is that while Valentine was in jail, he wrote letters to the jailkeeper's daughter, and they ended up falling in love. How romantic, eh? You're in jail and you fall in love. Anyway, in the last letter that he wrote to the daughter, he said, "From your Valentine," and thus, in a way, the tradition started. And so, years and years later, in honor of the martyr who got killed for love, Valentine's Day began again, and the tradition continues. Isn't that kind of fascinating? It definitely puts a new perspective on this sad day, you know, Singles Awareness Day. And so, Robin, you asked for the story behind fire-breathing sharks breathing fire. And well, let me tell you the story, because it's a good one. Also a good one. A long time ago, there were sharks living in the water, but they got really bored of having to always be moving in order to breathe, you know? And so one day, they decided that they would go to a volcano. Now, this is very dangerous territory, as you know. So the sharks hooked up portable tanks of water, and they began on their way, and they were moving, and you know, very excited, and they came out of water onto land and climbed up a volcano, diving into the abyss of fiery thing below. As they fell, the glass shattered in their tanks, and all the water evaporated and turned into hot steam. And as that steam caressed their bodies, they lit on fire. And as they hit the magma, their bodily construction had changed so that they could breathe fire, but they were also on fire. And thus, fire-breathing sharks breathing fire was born. It's pretty epic. That concludes this video segment with Ray. Thank you for coming to the channel. I hope you learned something and that you are having a wonderfully, wonderfully awesome Valentine's Day. Amy, I will see you on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. But until then, DFTBA.